y'all, it's me Alex. Today I am going to do a video basically on Ofra and ELF and some of the trouble that both of them have recently gotten into for not being good. If you've been on my channel for any length of time, you know that I don't see makeup as just makeup because when people are doing things that hurt other people, it goes beyond makeup for me. So if you want to hear me have some opinions on that while I do my makeup using some Tara Moon's shadows and just a lot of indie makeup on my face, let's just get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and just tell y'all what I'm going to use, generally speaking, for this look. So I have my NYX HD eyeshadow primer, surprise, surprise. I did actually find my NYX glitter primer, yay. And then I'm just going to use some of my single shadows. I'm thinking like the two purpley shades I have right here from Tara Moon's will be a good look. And then I also just have, I know I want to use this. We'll see about the rest. I think that's only halfway why y'all are here, probably. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk about some brands that are not being great. I am going to start with Ofra because they're the one that I know more about, and I figure if I don't get to the other one that I want to talk about today, then I can always film another video on it and it'll be great. So basically, if y'all don't know what's up, Ofra, a brand that is known for highlighters and liquid lipsticks and I've never bought from, got into some trouble because one of the owners, the vice president, and is also the husband to the actual owner, is basically posting pro-Trump white supremacist dog whistle photos on his Instagram from a few years ago. That's obviously a really shitty thing to do. Also had apparently made repeated donations to the Trump campaign for re-election in 2020. Thank God that did not work out. Yeah, and so that's the basic thing that is going on. Now, I never bought from Ofra because I think around the time that I was considering buying from them was also around the time when the Ofra Twitter account was caught liking some of Donald Trump's tweets. I think it was either they were hacked or that an intern didn't log in correctly, something like that. Anyway, I was very much side-eyeing them after that. And one, I thought that was a thing that a lot of people knew, apparently not. Because after that, I'm like, yeah, as someone who has run social media for a few different companies, I understand you don't always, sometimes you might forget to log out when you are using your social media and your company's social media. I get that, but the timing just seemed a little suspicious and I was kind of put off from them, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be paying pretty close attention to you after this. I did not know that. Apparently a lot of people didn't know that. As a result of this scandal, the VP is stepping down and I think the president is stepping down as well. Which at first I thought oh, that's a good response, as they should, until it's their daughter who is replacing the vice president, actually. If you don't know who the daughter is, basically she's been involved in the brand before when Ofra was going to do a collaboration with Kim Tai, I think her name is. And basically she sent Kim messages making fun of her that was allegedly supposed to go to someone else. Ofra sure knows how to pick them. Somehow that doesn't feel like making things right to me. Maybe I'm just, moral purist, which I will absolutely claim to being, but I will semi-confidently say that that was a pretty darn shitty thing to do. Okay, yep, that's beautiful. Love that. Let's see. Oh, and the owners are still going to be profiting from the brand. That's not the move here. I feel like this year is the year that a lot of brands are shutting down because we have Coastal Scents and Becca and all of that. And with this move and the way that they are not actually handling their PR. They don't have very good public relations. I'm not expecting them to be around super long, just because this is just simply not the way to handle it. I'm not pressed for like not being able to buy anything because I've never owned anything from Ofra. I'm not like super pressed about that. I am pressed because of simply the fact that like maybe don't be a white supremacist. That's just a thought that I generally have. I also think that influencers are getting a lot of shit where they don't need to be getting a lot of shit for it. My friend Mia of Mia's Virtual Vanity posted a really great video on all of this, and I'm gonna link to that because she's fabulous and deserves all of the views and all of the good things. Legally speaking, there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes with influencer collaborations that we simply aren't going to know about. And like legally speaking, you can't just get out of a contract very easily. That's just simply not how these things work. While I'm definitely of the opinion of like, if you discover that the person that you're working for has very bigoted views, I would make every effort to get a new job as like soon as possible, because not only is that just like generally bad, even if it doesn't affect you, if it doesn't affect you right then, it will likely show up in one way or form later on in your employment with that person. So even if you don't care about other people, which you should, it is very likely that it will come back for you too. I feel like this needs to be deeper, but I don't have any deeper purple mats in any of my singles, so I'm going to use the Vivid Pigments palette from Colored Rain. Cut influencers a little bit more slack. Now I am happy that people are starting to come out with statements, and I also think that if you are a person with like larger influence, maybe you should use that to make a change with the brand, as it seems like the brand is being kept in the family and white supremacists are going to continue profiting off of it. I would very much reconsider my relationship with Ofra, but that's just me. And I also think that in terms of like people's response, I'll just say that there are some influencers who could be responding a lot better to it than others. I think most people are handling it pretty well in terms of like trying to figure everything out. Generally speaking, I feel like these situations, people aren't just going to react to how you are personally handling the situation, but also how you've kind of historically handled difficult situations, and if you have been able to handle it with like grace and being a good person and managing to not offend people. But if you have a history of doing hurtful things to people, especially marginalized groups, they're probably not going to take it as well if this is a PR screw up for you in the situation. But that's just kind of my other thoughts. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about the Ofra situation. Long story short, don't be a white supremacist. That should be pretty easy. Don't buy from white supremacist brands, and maybe don't appoint your daughter to the brand and continue profiting off of it if you want to continue existing as a brand, because I have a feeling Ofra is not long for this world after this level of screwing up. So now the other brand that I wanted to talk about is ELF, and this one I'm actually like, this one is personal. ELF is a brand that I've bought like a lot of things from. I own a lot of brushes from them. I'm wearing one of their lip balms right now because I bought it before all of this happened, and then my mom bought one and didn't like it, so she gave hers to me. So I have a lot of ELF stuff to use up right now. So if you don't know what happened with ELF, this is while I was like kind of off the internet while I was visiting family. So when I came back to learning about this, I was like, fuck. Basically, one, I don't see this talked about like a lot on YouTube, and I think it should be talked about more. But basically, ELF had put a call out for Twitch streamers who do gaming and also makeup who would like to be... the initial call to action was very, very vague. I think I had seen that and then I had kind of gone offline. So that's kind of what I had to catch myself up on. But then basically they chose two white creators, both cis women, and ELF was claiming they wanted to promote diversity in makeup, but Then after that, they had just said like, oh, this is like a women's empowerment thing. And they didn't really make that clear in kind of the casting call for it. Just the overall thing was very vague, but they picked two cis white women who, as far as I know, not being super involved in the Twitch community, as in I watch my friends who are Twitch streamers and that's kind of it. Basically, these two women weren't really known for their makeup. ELF was also picking them over creators who had gotten a lot more community support, a lot more likes, a lot more retweets, basically a lot more of their fan base wanted creators of color to be able to participate in this movement, and ELF kind of definitely ignored all of that. When people started calling them out on that, ELF basically went radio silent. People were calling them out in the Twitch chat of like, hey, what the heck happened? This doesn't seem like what you were promoting in the first place. Then apparently one of the other streamers who was involved with this got on her own platform and started making fun of the people who were calling for diversity, and ELF didn't say anything about that. And it was basically radio silence for a long time. No one really ever said anything, despite like a lot of backlash on Twitter, because I have a lot of friends who, like I said, they do Twitch, who were speaking out about this, and ELF didn't really respond until I think a couple days ago, when they were basically like, we want to be inclusive, like basically just giving a general, very, very, very vague statement on the entire situation and not actually addressing any of the mishaps or the behavior. Basically, ELF is being hella sketchy, did not respond to this well at all. And I am very much reconsidering my support of the brand, which is disappointing because ELF has been, you know, pretty amazing in terms of like their product quality and their pricing over the years. But have you just considered like maybe listening to people and being better? In the year of our Lord 2021, is it truly so hard to just like listen to the people who support you, elevate people who should be elevated? And if you are putting out a call for streamers, you know, one, maybe make it actually fucking clear what your intent was, and two, it's 2021, be diverse or you will get called out and you will fail. So that's it. Let me put on some lip gloss. I don't know where I put it. Can't find the lip gloss that I actually want to use, so I'm just going to use this one from Fluid and Spectrum because, haha, it is Pride Month. Did everyone put out their, you know, milk and cookies for Freddie Mercury last night? I don't want to wear a mask because I want people to see my lip gloss, but I don't want them to think that I am a Republican. Okay, so that is it for this video. Let me know what y'all are thinking about the entire situations in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna film a favorites video now. That way I can actually have some content for y'all because you deserve it. You deserve good things. As always, be kind. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And I will see y'all in my next one. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye!